Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome to the 8th day of Game & Watch month. It's been a whole week now since we have started this journey, so I think it makes sense that we loop back around and talk about where it began with Fire, but not the original version this time, rather the widescreen release that came out about a year and a half later, this being the 15th Game & Watch ever made, and the original Fire was the 4th. And that one was July 31st, 1980, while this one is December 4th, 1981. And as mentioned, it is of the widescreen model. And we're going to be doing a little bit of an unboxing, actually, before we get right to the Game & Watch. As you can see, widescreen definitely advertises that there is an alarm feature now, which was actually, not something that the original Game & Watches had. And it advertises some other ones on the back, including Parachute, which we have already looked at. So we can open up the end here and nicely slide the styrofoam out. And then pop that up and take it out. Unfortunately, no instruction manual. But yeah, here it is, and it looks really nice. Let's compare this to the previous one that we looked at and see if we can notice the difference, putting them side by side. Can you tell which one is the updated widescreen one? I know I can't. Look at this one actually has, nice color, and you actually tell that that's a building. It's amazing just how basic this one was when you actually put them both side by side. You don't really notice it until you do. And yeah, again, there's that whole extra inch. And of course, there is an alarm functionality built in. And this one, rather than being silver, it is now gold. So let's zoom in here and actually have a look at the game. And just like always, we will set the time. What's a good time today? 3:06 p.m. And of course, pressing the time button gets you that kind of demo there. And yeah, just wow, it's amazing. The graphical upgrade. Over 10 Game & Watches later, they had definitely learned a lot. Looking on the back though, again, of course, battery cover and all the jazz we've come to know and love about the Game & Watches. So let's give it a play. Although I think at this point, everyone probably understands the basic premise of Fire. Is you've got people jumping out of that building and you have to catch them. But wow, just, it's such a graphical improvement. It's almost kind of like, Fire All-Stars compared to Super Mario All-Stars. It's definitely a very nice Game & Watch. You even have, like animated fire up there is really nice. Or the smoke coming out of the building. Still got that really bouncy tarp to catch everyone with. And yeah, it just feels so much nicer to play too. Everything about this Game & Watch just feels better built. Looks nicer, plays better. And the characters are really starting to look more like Mr. Game & Watch, which is of course, what the Mr. Game & Watch from Smash Brothers looks like. They all kind of have those distinctive, large head and stuff. The round limbs. And of course it still has that classic sound. And it's funny that despite the fact that, they remade it, they didn't switch it back to being the other way around as we discussed, where the original intention for Fire was that it would go from right to left. But nope, it still goes from left to right. And you can, of course, play this game on Game & Watch Galleries 1 and 4. Still, Game & Watch gameplay at its simplest, yet it's just so awesome with only left and right buttons again, as most widescreen Game & Watches are. Unlike the multi-screen ones where there's more four-directional movement going on. Ugh. What is even going on here? We have 4 people on screen at the same time and, trying to keep your eyes on the flashing, figure out just who's closest to the ground, it gets really tricky. Oh, see, that guy's before that guy. Okay. Of course, in the flat zone levels of the Smash Brothers games, you can definitely see inspiration from a whole bunch of different Game & Watches. Fire being a big one with the building on the side and such. There's also, of course, Helmet and other ones too. I think that's probably the coolest part of Mr. Game & Watch, just seeing how all his different attacks and his stages and such are all inspired by all these different awesome games, which hopefully you're having fun throughout this month learning all about. I know we've already looked at Fire, but I just think it can't be understated how much of an improvement the later release of it is. I think it's so cool that they did that with, some of their more popular games too. No, no. Okay, so see that the flashing kind of threw me off there. So we got all the way up to 89 without losing a life. Of course, I mentioned that, in some of the Game & Watches, in the new widescreen ones, if you get to 300 without losing a life, you get into chance time. But this is just an original widescreen Game & Watch, as you can see, because it says widescreen under the screen there, rather than Nintendo. So that's how you know which category it falls under. And we, of course, looked at the alarm functionality when we played Balloon Fight, so we're not going to go over that probably again for the rest of the series, but you could access that by using a toothpick to hit that small alarm button to the right of the game A and B buttons. Speed's picking up. Here goes that. Very nice. Oh, this is nice. All three of them are kind of just in a nice line, so you can catch them all pretty easily. Of course, they might, bounce different heights and such, though, so you got to be careful of that, too. Okay, so what's going on here? We got 4 now. That. Sometimes when you just glance over at the different people, it's hard to tell if they're going up or if they're going down, so you really gotta, watch that pattern there. Yeah, like, I don't even know, like, just 4 people flashing across the screen. Keeping track of that. Yeah, see? It's kind of got overwhelmed there. See if we can make it to 200. Like, who should I be looking at here? Oh no, see? Wow, the flashing gets going. So there you go, that is Fire, the new, rather not the new, but just the widescreen model. If you're looking for any Game & Watch to get, there's pretty much like no more classic one than I think Fire. Just such a great game, and this is just such a beautiful looking Game & Watch. I love the blue, I love the gold, highly, highly recommended. I hope you enjoyed seeing that, because yeah, Game & Watches, even in themselves, you don't usually probably think about Game & Watches changing much throughout their life, but it's clear that Nintendo was always looking to improve, and I just think that Fire is an awesome example of that. So hope you enjoyed that, day number 8, and hope you'll join me tomorrow for another review. So thanks, and hope to see you then.